The government's looking to introduce a COVID-19 health passport. The National Security Minister responding to rape allegations in one law enforcement agency. And the Labor Minister says a meeting with the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union was productive. Good evening, everyone. I'm Lissy Bastian. It's Tuesday, February 9th. It's good having you with us. Topping news this evening, in the midst of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Tourism are currently in discussions about implementing a COVID-19 health passport. The COVID-19 passport, like the travel health visa, would indicate that the traveler has been vaccinated and a negative COVID-19 test result. Health Minister Renwood Wells this morning giving an update to reporters ahead of the weekly cabinet meeting.
The government has made three fundamental policy decisions, and I've reiterated them at every press conference. One, no one will be forced to take a vaccine. Two, the vaccines will always be absolutely free, the COVID vaccine. And three, we're not going to vaccinate anybody under the age of 18.
When asked if the government will consider charging citizens and residents for the COVID-19 vaccine should multiple options arise in the future and people are given a choice of which vaccine they would prefer to take, the minister says this.
We are looking at it, both myself and the Minister of Tourism. We are looking at the possibility of the kind of, I think you're talking about the health passport, where you can say that you were vaccinated, and the information is put up on a digital platform. As you know, the Bahamas has already been transformative, evolutionary, revolutionary in our approach to COVID. We were the first country to institute a health visa for folks to travel in and out of the country, a digital one. Now a lot of other countries are moving in that direction, but we are also looking at elevating that platform to the possibility of doing the health visa passport.
Minister Wells says that the Bahamas can expect the first shipment of vaccines, some 100,000 doses, between the end of February and early March. In our national COVID-19 news, just 4 confirmed cases of the coronavirus reported in the Bahamas between Sunday, February 7th and Monday, February 8th, according to the Ministry of Health's latest updates. On Sunday, out of 124 tests completed, 1 case was reported on New Providence and 1 case with location pending. On Monday, 2 cases were reported out of 31 tests completed, 1 case on Abaco and 1 case on Andros. Health officials advising, however, that a small quantity of COVID-19 laboratory test results were received yesterday, and further notes that this matter will continue to be monitored to ensure the results of the COVID-19 report is always an accurate reflection of the current situation. These 4 cases pushed the national total to 8,291. Active cases now at 1,192, 16 of them hospitalized, 14 cases considered moderately ill, and 2 in the intensive care unit at Doctors Hospital. 33 cases recovered. That category now totals 6,870. The death toll remains at 176, with 15 deaths under investigation. More than 62,000 tests have been completed since March. National Security Minister Marvin Dame says he's very concerned about rape allegations against a Royal Bahamas Defense Force officer and Marine made by a 31-year-old female subordinate over in Matthew Town, Great Inagua. The matter came to light on Monday when the RBDF issued a press release. Minister Dames shared these remarks with reporters just ahead of the weekly cabinet meeting.
I have spoken to the Commodore at length about it. You never want to be in a position where you're working in any environment, right? Persons are making allegations of that sort, that they're being harassed or assaulted by colleagues, especially those in superior positions.
In that statement issued by the Defense Force Commodore, Raymond King shared the same sentiments as the minister. The Commodore also stated that there is currently a no fraternization policy in place, making it against the law for male and female officers to be intimately involved. However, the Commodore added that such a policy is being given careful and deliberate consideration by the agency.
Fraternizing policy or not, okay? When you are employed, be it the private or public sector, you expect that you go into an environment where there's decency and respect for others, no matter where they may sit.
The minister says there are laws out there to deal with anyone who takes the position that an employee is a thing or an object, those who are subordinates. The officer has been relieved of his duties and placed under administrative leave as the matter is currently under investigation by the police. Transport Minister Dion Folks clarifying the issue of the Bahamas taxicab union's concerns over self-drive and taxi plates being the same color. This morning, just before the weekly cabinet meeting, the minister told reporters that he and the union's president had a very productive meeting. Here's Laurencia Smith with that report.
Minister with responsibility for transport and local government, Senator Dion Folks, says he had a productive meeting with the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union president on Monday. This after Union President Wesley Ferguson says union members are frustrated, especially when it comes to concerns about self-drive cars and plates being the same color, as well as concerns about the relationship with the Director of Road Traffic. Minister Folks says this.
With respect to the color of the plates, as you know, both the SD, the self-drive cars, and the taxi cab cars, they have the same color. We have been reviewing it on my predecessor, Mr. Wells, and Mr. Campbell. They have both been looking at this issue since the last election. The question is, do we change the color of the taxi cabs to another color, or do we change the color of the self-drive plates?
Now, the minister further claimed he has reached out to the road traffic controller regarding the changes to the color of the plates, adding that once he gets the estimate approval of what the changes will cost, he will turn the matter over to cabinet. As for that meeting that the minister claims was productive, there's two sides to every story. As the union president says, he's unsatisfied with the meeting. JCN News team reached out to Mr. Ferguson, who sang a different tone, saying that the union and the ministry did not come to an understanding.
Okay, we had an extensive telephone call yesterday with the minister, and nothing was resolved. We are still having issues with the controller. We still don't know what color the taxi plates are going to be, and we still don't know when the taxi plates are going to be issued. We don't know none of that, so nothing was resolved.
The union president says that he and his union members will turn out in strong numbers on Wednesday morning in Rawson Square. I'm Laurencia Smith for JCN News.
Following the rapid construction of unregulated structures in a new shanty town in Abaco, Immigration Minister Ellsworth Johnson gives insight on the ministry's action to combat these unregulated communities. Leah Cooper has more.
Immigration Minister Ellsworth Johnson speaking on the ongoing exercises to tackle unregulated communities on the Family Islands. He says this much off the heels of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works Desmond Bannister pledging to take the necessary actions to deal with shantytowns on Abaco.
As you very well know, there's still a matter before the courts where a strategic analysis was done of localities, especially in New Providence. We went into Andros, and the same thing was done by the minister, the deputy prime minister, and I want to commend him, and the cross-ministry collaboration on this effort to, in a humane way, address what is a growing problem. And so what was done in Andros is that we were able to go in, identify these locations, in a dignified way, find out who are actually living there. And so in Andros, we have compiled all of the names. So now we're tactfully dealing with these individuals.
Minister Johnson says the same is being done in Abaco. He adds that a team is identifying and evaluating living arrangements along with immigration status, dealing with breaches as they encounter them.
You have women and children. They're the whole thing about the possibility of trafficking and abuse, and you want to get in there to be able to deal with it holistically and in a humane way.
Now, despite a government ban on the construction of any new buildings in the 4 major shantytowns on that island in 2019, unregulated homes continue to spring up on the island, where officials estimate more than 1,000 illegal structures have been built in one particular shantytown, The Farm, since Hurricane Dorian hit that year. Reporting for JCN News, I'm Leah Cooper.
You're watching JCN News. When we return, the country's murder count increases, an environmental group responds to BPC's no oil found, and some good news for farmers. Stay with us.